Ever fall head over heels for a brand new sports car only to discover your car is just a copy of a different brand? In the next few minutes, we're ripping the masks off 20 cars, from American cars to Toyota's powered Bavarian straight sixes. Let us know in the comments which ones you already knew. 20, Infiniti G35 Coupe and Nissan 350Z slip either key into the ignition and the same FM platform wakes up. Double wishbone front, multi-link rear, and Nissan's rev-happy VQ35 DEV-6. The 350Z keeps its wheelbase tight for pure two-seat balance, while the Infiniti stretches 8 inches to squeeze in vestigial rear buckets and softer spring rates. Underneath, subframes, hubs, Brembo option calipers, even exhaust flanges carry identical part numbers, so a Z-spec sway bar bolts into a G35, and Infiniti's Bose head unit slides into a 350Z dash. Used listings favor looks over logos, clean G35s dip thousands below matching Mile Zs, yet performance mods cross-pollinate effortlessly. Throw coilovers, plenum spacers, and sticky 255s on either shell, and you're chasing 4.9-second sprints for half the price of a new GR86. In the parts aisle, you'll notice only box colors change. Blue Nissan, silver Infiniti. Same soundtrack, same dyno charts, 2 very different dealership badges. 19. Acura ILX A-Spec and Honda Civic. C-Sedan badge, prestige, or boy racer stripes. Pick your vibe, the chassis is identical. Both ride Honda's FB platform, share the 2.4-liter K24Z7, and row through the slick 6-speed that made the Psy legend. Acura drapes the cabin in leather, quiets road roar with extra butyl pads, and retunes dampers for freeway glide. Honda fits a spoiler, louder exhaust, and sport buckets. Pull the plastic engine cover and coil pack part numbers match line for line. Under hard autocross, loads the A-Spec's softer sway bars let the tail rotate like in Psy on aftermarket springs. And owners swap them freely. 2 bolts, instant personality shift. Because most luxury buyers don't check horsepower per dollar, used ILYs cost less than most sports car. If you buy one, you can get a 225 wheel horsepower beast that regular Honda fans will be watching, all without paying a premium for red badges that hide the same mechanical heartbeat. 18. Cadillac, CTSV Wagon and Holden Commodore Sport Wagon. The States never got Australia's Sport Wagon, but under the CTSV estate's art and science creases lurk GM's global Zeta rails shared with the rear drive Holden. That means identical rear cradle, multi-link geometry, and drive shaft tunnel. Cadillac wanted a 556 horsepower car, so they decided to swap Aussie polyurethane subframe bushings straight into the Caddy for sharper turn-in. The part numbers align. Fewer than 1,800 V-Wagons hit U.S. soil, making it a manual option unicorn that hauls drywall weekdays and humiliates Hellcats at autocross on weekends. Cargo rails, weather strip clips, even rear tail lamp gaskets trace back to Holden's assembly drawings. With Adelaide closing in 2017, global supplies shrank, so savvy owners sourced crash parts through Australian eBay. 2 continents, 1 sleeper formula, supercharged Corvette power, wagon practicality, and cross-ocean parts support hiding behind Cadillac wreaths. 17. Pontiac GTO 2004-6 and Holden Monaro Vazzi Detroit wanted an instant revival of its storied badge, so it imported Holden's Monaro, punched nostrils in the bumper, and bolted the steering to the left side. Under the skin, you're staring at a Corvette C5 powertrain. LS1 at first, LS2 later, Tremec T56, and semi-trailing IRS. Fuel tank, steering rack, even brake hoses shipped with Holden stamps. But any Chevy dealer stocks replacements. Australia cherishes the Monaro name. Americans let depreciation smash the GTO to use Camry prices, until lately. Yank the massive mufflers, add long tube headers, and the Goat Thunders to 430 rear-wheel horsepower while still idling like OEM. Because interiors differ only in seat skins, Aussie enthusiasts import surplus Pontiac leather. U.S. tuners import HSV bumpers. A genuine world car born of badge alchemy. Southern Hemisphere frame, Midwestern muscle, and global aftermarket worship keeping a 2-door LS coupe forever young. 16. Chevrolet SS, Sedan and Holden Commodore, VF Chevy's 2014-17 SS is an Australian cop cruiser and business casual. Same VF shell, same magnesium steering column, same big body McPherson struts, only the bow tie emblem, federally mandated bumper beam, and U.S. infotainment firmware differ. The LS3 thumps 415 horsepower through either a 6-speed automatic or a Tremec manual, letting the family sedan blitz 12.9 second quarters bone stock. Owners chase HSV hardware, diffusers, Alcantara wheels, because they bolt on like factory. GM built under 13,000, so values climb as collectors notice it's the last naturally aspirated four-door V8 GM will ever ship stateside. Need bushings? Search Aussie part numbers. Shipping equals the dealer markup. In Ohio winters, it plays Snowdrift Hero. On summer track days, it shadows M3 lap times. Two logos separated by an ocean and a tariff, united by rear tire smoke and a surging LS heartbeat. 15. Buick, Regal, GS and Opel. Insignia, OPC peak beneath Buick's chrome waterfall grille, and a full-blooded German sports sedan stares back. The Epsilon 2 architecture, hyper-strut front suspension, and Haldex AWD transfer case are Opel-born. GM simply translated button labels from Deutsch to English and swapped lion badges for tri-shields. The US GS loses Brembo rears, but caliper brackets bolt on from Europarts bins. Turbo 2.0-liter LHU engines share block castings with Opel's 325-horse OPC flash the Eurotune and yank timing retard for a legit 300-wheel-horse sleeper. Cabin plastics, HVAC actuators, even seat frameworks carry GM global codes. Order whichever catalog is cheaper that week. Autobahn DNA plus Midwest incentives mean depreciation plummeted. 10 grand buys ventilated seats, adaptive dampers, and chassis-poised WRX owners respect. In badge engineering's long history, few pair a grandma badge with this much Nürburgring pedigree. Chrysler Crossfire, SRT6, and Mercedes-Benz SLK 32 AMG. Thanks to Daimler Chrysler matrimony, Detroit scored a hand-built AMG hard. The Crossfire's skeleton is the R170 SLK, hydroformed rails, 5-link rear, and bulkhead stampings untouched. SRT6 trim lifts the entire SLK 32 powertrain. 330 horsepower supercharged 3.2-liter V6, larger brakes, and AMG dampers. Chrysler-styled Art Deco ribs and center exit pipes. Everything else reads Mercedes-Benz, from Co-Man nav to door latch stickers. Crossfire's depreciated like PT Cruisers, so 15 grand nets AMG pace that 996 Carreras envy. Parts shopping? Ball joints cheaper via Mopar, engine sensors cheaper via Benz. The folding roof coupe never made it to the SLK, making the SRT6 hatch a rarity even Germans import. Badge gymnastics turned Stuttgart engineering into Detroit pricing, super coupe speed for used Camry coin. 13. Ford Probe GT and Mazda MX 6LS. Born of a plan to replace Mustang with a front driver, the Probe GT and Mazda MX 6LS ride the same GE platform. Aluminum wishbones up front, multi-link tails, and Mazda's velvety KL Series 2.5 V6 humming to an 8,000 RPM wail. Valve covers, crank sensors, strut mounts, even windshield glass share part numbers. Ford badges and Mazda grills are merely style swaps. The gauge clusters are identical PCBs with different face graphics. Probe tacks drop into MX6 housings for instant white face flare. Junkyards brim with 300 KLDE long blocks. Import KLZE cams from Japan, and 200 naturally aspirated wheel horsepower is yours. Rust killed many, yet survivors drift for pennies, helped by teenage cheap insurance because the DMV still calls them compact coupes. Mix and match brake pads, buy under Ford for price, Mazda for stock, bolt in a short throw shifter, and enjoy a forgotten 90s chassis that will chase modern BRZs through canyon switchbacks, pop-up headlights flashing victorious grin. 12 Pontiac Solstice and Saturn Sky GM's Capri Roadsters look night and day. Solstice all curves, Sky all creases, but beneath the sheet metal, they're carbon copies. Both use hydroformed rails derived from C6 Corvette techniques, unequal length A-arms, and the 2.4 Ecotech or 260-horse 2.0 turbo with twin scroll boost. Interiors differ only at center stack bezels. Radio, HVAC guts, seat frames, and window motors cross-swap. GMPP's factory tune lifts turbos to 290 horsepower without voiding warranty, and enthusiasts add Camaro fuel pumps plus Z3 diff coolers for track stamina. Rare Solstice coupes bring big money. Sky red lines linger thousands cheaper despite identical bones. Aftermarket treats them as one. Coilovers, anti-roll bars, Brembo kits all list cap on the box. Drop a Sky nose on a Solstice tail, and nobody at Cars and Coffee blinks, everything lines up. Badge engineering here gives buyers choice of silhouette without sacrificing a single tenth in the quarter mile or an ounce of tire frying fun. 11 Fiat 124 Spider and Mazda M, X, 5 Miata N, D. Every Fiat 124 Spider starts life as an N. D Miata rolling chassis in Hiroshima before a longer nose, retro hips, and Italy's 1.4-liter multi-air turbo are bolted on. Bonded aluminum tub, manual gearbox, differential, and Bilstein Club dampers share torque specs with Mazda. Fiat simply maps softer springs and adds 184 pound-feet of mid-range shove the naturally aspirated Miata lacks. Swap control arms, strut bars, even entire 6 speeds between the twins, FCA dealers rebox Mazda oil filters. When Fiat exited the US in 2020, used Abarth Spiders sank $5,000 below same-year Miatas, handing torquey lovers the bargain of the decade. Flash the Euro Abarth tune to 200 horsepower, install Indy Miata Brembos, and carve back roads while purists debate which flag deserves credit. 2 personalities, 1 featherweight skeleton, rev-happy Japanese screamer or boost-fed Italian crooner, both delivering wind-in-your-hair joy for pocket-change running costs. Toyota GR Supra A90 and BMW Z4 M40i, the fixed-roof Supra and soft-top Z4 share 70% of their G29 architecture. BMW's B58 straight-six, ZF 8-speed, electronic diff, crash structures, and wiring looms. Toyota stiffens its chassis, fits firmer rear bars, and programs sharper throttle overshoot for punchier mid-range, while BMW focuses on boulevard compliance and open-air luxury. Dashboards diverge only at the upper cap. Supra's Alcantara hides iDrive menus behind Toyota skins. Secret coating restores full BMW features. Warranty bulletins mirror, coil pack recalls hit both brands simultaneously. Modders mix freely, M-Performance LSDs bolt into Supras. Toyota's Cup 2 rubber sharpens as 4s. Price math favors the Supra by roughly $5,000, yet either badge buys 382 horsepower, sub-4-second launches, and Nürburgring credibility. Call it co-development or badge theater. From the driver's seat, it's a classic straight-six symphony fused with modern electronics, ready to humble Pricier Porsches on track days. 9. Dodge Stealth RT twin-turbo and Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR 4 Nagoya's assembly line built both Super Coupes, twin-turbo 3.0 DOHC V6s, Getrag 6 speeds, torque vectoring AWD, active aero, even 4-wheel steering. Dodge tweaked headlights and hatch glass. Mitsubishi kept curvier hips, but ECS electronic dampers, HVAC modules, and timing belts carry identical part codes. Pop the hood, Mitsubishi is cast on block ribs of every Stealth. Collectors covet 3000 GTs, inflating prices past $40,000. Equal spec Stealths trail by thousands, delivering sleeper status. Fit modern 18-inch rubber, recap aging capacitors in the digital HVAC, and enjoy 5-second sprints framed by pop-up lights deploying cyberpunk nostalgia. Active rear wings raise above 45 miles per hour, exhaust valves bark open, and 4-wheel steering snaps U-turns like video game physics. Badge swap, 100%. Exotic tech per dollar? Unmatched, especially when the cheaper logo buys identical boost, gadgetry, and 90s supercar presence. 8 Tesla Roadster and Lotus Elise. Series 2 Hethel supplies the bonded aluminum tub, wishbones, and crash structures. Tesla adds a carbon fiber shell, 6,831 lithium cells, and an AC motor worth 288 horsepower. Steering racks, door hinges, and windshields are Lotus parts, so Roadster owners source window regulators from Elise catalogs, and Lotus racers salvage Tesla body panels after track mishaps. Weight jumps to 2,720 pounds, yet 0 to 60 drops to 3.7 seconds. Silence eclipsing superbike acceleration, the chassis still talks Lotus. Razor steering, unassisted brakes, and cockpit elbow room for gymnasts only. Early Roadsters now appreciate like air-cooled Porsches, while Elises remain track day staples. Both share suspension bushings and clamshell alignment tricks. Badge engineering here bridges continents and propulsion eras, delivering America's first credible electric sports car wrapped around Britain's featherweight philosophy. 2 brands, 1 lesson. Lightweight plus instant torque equals grins that drown out missing exhaust notes. 7. Eagle Talon TSI AWD, Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX, and Plymouth Laser RS Turbo Diamond Star motors in Illinois churned out these turbo hatches. 4G63 iron blocks, blow-through intercoolers, viscous-coupled AWD, and quarter-mile heroics. Cosmetic tells only, Talon's split wing, Eclipse's smooth spoiler, Laser's pop-ups, underbody stampings, ECUs, and drivetrains match line for line. DSM link tuning, Evo 3 turbo swaps, and 8-second drag passes cross badges seamlessly. Nostalgia inflates Eclipse values. Talons and lasers lag thousands cheaper despite equal 210 horsepower stock punch. Replace timing belts every 60K, rust-proof rockers, and the triplets devour WRXs for lunch. 3 logos, 1 boost-addicted cult whose junkyard supply chain still fuels absurd horsepower dreams. 6. Saab 92X Aero and Subaru WRX Wagon GM needed a compact Saab, so it rebadged Subaru's GD Wagon, grafted aero fenders, quieter carpet, and leather chairs. Underneath beats the same EJ20 turbo boxer, symmetrical AWD, and 5-speed manual. Saab retuned dampers for highway serenity, making the Aero the hush-quiet WRX. Coilovers, brakes, engine mounts interchange. Timing belts come from Subaru shelves. Depreciation hits Saabs harder. Aeros trade $3,000 under equivalent WRXs, yet Cobb maps load identical. Slap on STI pink springs, flash stage 2, and pilot the stealth rally wagon nobody notices until the blow-off valve chirps past their crossover. 5. Chevrolet Camaro SS and Pontiac Firebird WS6, 1998 to 2002. 4th-gen F-bodies share Y-platform rails, composite hoods, LS1 V8s, and T56 manuals. Camaro SS flaunts a raised scoop. Firebird WS 6 rocks pop-ups and a ram air nostril. Torque arms, subframes, brake rotors, even dash skeletons mirror part numbers. Hot rodders mix hardware, WSC 6 intake on an SS, Bilstein SS shocks on a bird, bolt patterns agree. Insurance rates stay friendly, yet 12-second quarter miles lurk beneath junkyard-sourced 3.73 gears and stickier rubber. The bird or the bow tie? Your wallet decides either badge spits pushrod thunder to 6,000 RPM and writes tire smoke signatures across parking lot pavement. 4. Cadillac XLR-V and Chevrolet Corvette C, 6 bowling green makes both hydroformed rails and rear transaxles. XLR adds Art Deco panels, a retractable roof, and the smoothness of a Northstar VR8 or a supercharged 443 horsepower V-trim to the bones of a Corvette. C6 relatives include magnetic riding, aluminum wishbones, and even seat tracks. Want bushings? Order a Corvette. Do you require door handles? Cadillac. Z06 sway bars fix the softness of the Boulevard, while Caddy gauges offer a touch of elegance to a cabin that GM originally labeled a jet fighter. Depreciation brought the price of XLRs down to half that of C6s. The Grand Touring comfort disguised the Corvette's quick reflexes, making them great for cross-country trips with the top down. 3. Mercury Capri, XR2 and Mazda 3.2. 3 GTX Ford Australia made the 91 to 94 Capri on Mazda's BF platform and put the 132 horsepower B6T Turbo 4 from the rally-bred 3.2 3 GTX under the hood. However, it only drove the front wheels instead of all 4. Even without the wedge bumpers and rear seat, every hard element still screams Mazda. The steering rack castings, the ECU pinouts, the strut tops, and even the speed sensor gear. Pop-up headlights and a power top add 90s charm, while curb weight stays a Miata rivaling 2,500 pounds. Cheap upgrades like a junkyard GTX intercooler, a manual boost valve, and a fuel cut protector may quickly improve the soft top's power to 180 horsepower without opening the block. Want sensors? Look for B-Series pickups. Many of them fit right in. Values are well behind Miatas, so for $3,000 you can have a Radwood-ready convertible that can surprise autocross grids and yet get good gas mileage like a Civic. 2 lost badges, 1 Lotus-tuned chassis, and a lot of strange turbo grins. 2. Plymouth Prowler and Chrysler Prowler. The TIG-welded aluminum Prowler was born as Plymouth's retro halo. When Plymouth went out of business, it became a Chrysler overnight, with just the insignia changing. Indy-inspired inboard coilovers, open front fenders, and a rear transaxle for ideal 45/55 balance lie under the cartoon road rod curves. The 3.5-liter SOHC Vi6 is made of all aluminum and only generates 253 horsepower, but it can push 2,800 pounds, so it goes from 0 to 60 in less than 6 seconds, 60 inches in 5.7 seconds. The sound is pure straight pipe hot rod after the stock restrictor plate is taken off. The 2 brands share part numbers for steering racks, brake calipers, and even HVAC modules. This means that Mopar dealers have everything in stock, whether the grille has a ship or a wing. Aftermarket turbo packages boost power to over 400 horsepower, converting the factory freak show into a super carivore that can shred 11-second quarters on drag radials. Buy the cheaper emblem, enjoy the reliability of a factory-built car, and feel good knowing that Chrysler spent more on each unit of your showroom-built hot rod than on a Viper. 1. Toyota GR86, Subaru BRZ, and Scion FRS. 1 Gunma assembly line, 3 logos. The joint venture keeps the recipe pure. Aluminum block boxer mounted low and pushed back. 2,800-pound curb weight, torque and diff, and a steering rack that practically thinks for you. Subaru tweaks damping for daily civility. Toyota loosens stability control for bigger slip angles. Scion 2013-16, splashed youth market wheels. But coil packs, manifold gaskets, even windshield glass share identical part numbers. Classified values hinge on badges, not wear. FRS coupes often list $2,000 below twin BRZs, despite matching maintenance history. Mod culture treats them as one. Header back exhausts, 200 treadwear tires, and flex fuel tunes bolt on regardless of emblem. Run those mods and you'll out-corner cars with twice the power, learning throttle steer artistry at sane speeds. Whether you choose Blue Star's Rising Sun or the Ghost of Scion, you get the same affordable driver's academy on wheels. Badge engineering as a gift to enthusiasts everywhere. Spot another undercover rocket we missed? Drop it in the comments. The best tip gets pinned and shouted out in our next episode. If this list saved you cash or sparked a project, hammer that like button so the algorithm knows gearheads are awake, smash subscribe to join the crew, and ring the bell so you never miss a stealth car scoop. If you want more content like this, click the video on your screen.